On today's show are getting ready for back to school from Northwest Early Elementary, Principal Mark Short and Assistant Principal Paula Lawaji. Welcome to the show.
All right.
Hi, Bart.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, are you excited about getting back to school?
We're always excited to get back to school. We've got a lot going on in the building right now, so we got a lot of work to do. We got a great staff that is preparing our facility, and we'll be ready for them come Wednesday.
Yeah, I can't believe it's, what, 3 weeks?
Well, the 23rd is the first day
Yeah.
of students starting. Our kindergarten roundup is obviously next week.
All right, so now's the time if you're considering Northwest schools, particularly if you're just starting your child's education. Kindergarten, you want to invite people to check out kindergarten at Early Owl.
Next Wednesday, 9:30 to 12:30, we'll be having our second kindergarten roundup, which is our last kindergarten roundup before school starts. So if you haven't registered by now, you can do that online, and we'll be happy to see you on Wednesday.
And there's some things people can do ahead of time online, so you just come in and check it out.
Certainly, this year we started the Fast Pass, much like going to an amusement park. You know, if you get your papers in before Wednesday, next Wednesday, you will not have to wait in a line. You can go right to the front. So it's your Fast Pass. So certainly get your paperwork in and fill that out.
And just like at the amusement park, do you get to walk by everyone and
You
kind
sure
of look
do.
down at them?
You sure do.
Mark, how long have you been principal at Northwest Early Elementary?
At the early elementary, we're going into our 6th year.
Nice.
It's also my 6th year working with Mrs. Lawaji.
Great. How long have you been there?
It's my 7th year as the assistant principal at Northwest Early Owl, but I have been at Northwest for 23 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
So for the last 6, you've been a team,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Principal,
correct.
assistant principal?
Yep.
How's the team work? Are there certain things that you're good at that you like to do? And
Well, we actually took a course, what was it, late spring,
Yeah.
and we kind of balance each other out. She has some strengths that I do not have, and I have strengths that she has. So we really do make a good team.
We do, and it's been great getting to work with Mark and getting to know him. You know, every year that you're together and you work with someone, you know, that relationship gets stronger and the communication gets better, and we're just really happy to be heading into another year. And we've been fortunate to add another assistant principal this year, and so Mr. James Laughlin will be joining us as part of our team, so that's pretty exciting. And we've had a busy summer with lots of interviews and moving some staff around to new positions, so we're ready to go for the fall. Can't wait.
Great. So do you do good cop, bad cop between the two of you?
We flip for it,
Okay.
actually.
All right. So the district's growing. We're seeing, well, this past year, Northwest had the largest high school graduating class in all of Jackson County
Yep.
for the first time ever. So we're seeing more families in the district. There's more building. We've got a whole bunch of new apartment complexes.
Yeah.
And I think one thing we should mention too is next week there's a millage request.
Yep.
You guys, you're already bursting at the seams.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those things. It's a great problem to have when people want to be a Mountie and they want to be a part of the Mountie Nation at Northwest. You know, certainly it brings some challenges, but the interesting thing about that, Bart, is that we just continue to find spaces. Last year we added another Young Fives classroom and another kindergarten classroom because we felt like our class sizes were too big. And so we now are running 10 sections of kindergarten, 5 sections of Young Fives. You know, we're just hoping that everything goes well with the millage renewal next week and that we can continue to see that growth at Northwest because great things are happening.
Yeah, Jeff Bontrager was here yesterday and he stressed several times it's a 0 increase
Correct.
millage, so no people won't be paying any new or any more in taxes.
Correct.
With the addition of another assistant principal, then is that a new position? Is it because you've got more to manage in the building?
It is. We've probably needed it for several years, but we've been getting by with just getting up and working a little harder and some encouragement from our superintendent and the staff. But this addition will let us do our jobs a little better. Not that we haven't been doing that, but we can always got room for improvement, and we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, and it's great that you're wearing the school colors today. Earlier today, Jeff Beal and Chris Giannetti were on in the morning show, and they both wore blue.
Maybe they're going to Columbia.
Maybe, it could be. I don't know. Maybe they're trying to tell us something. So you say there's stuff going on in the school. I think every kid knows about the floor polishing. I think it's a mandatory thing that has to happen in schools. What
Sure.
are some of the other things going on?
Well, you know, the maintenance staff and the custodial staff, like you said, pull all of the items, desks, teachers' desks, anything that's on the floor out. So it's an interesting look. We currently have summer school going, so the kids navigate around all that furniture, of course, and get themselves out to the playground at least once a day. But then we serve lunch and breakfast every day at the early elementary for the community, for people that are 18 years old or less.
It's a way that you and the staff can stay in touch and check in with families and kids in the district.
Certainly.
It's been great, and we have about 55 kids with us for summer school right now, and it's a great opportunity for those kids to just kind of reconnect, get ready to come back to school, and then we'll be doing the following week after Kindergarten Roundup, we'll be doing the Teddy Bear Picnic, and that's a great opportunity for our incoming kindergartners and young fivers to come and have a picnic lunch on the lawn. They can do a school lunch if they want, and then they get a chance to check out the playground and just kind of practice opening milk cartons and putting straws in and all of those kinds of things that we forget about kids needing to do on their own independently when they start school.
Yeah, I have a tough time with the Capri Sun juices.
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't want them to go all the way through.
No, no. I'm always squeezing too hard when I put the Well, you guys brought some photos of some of the activities happening. Is this over the summer, or is this last year?
This was last year during one of our holiday evenings. If you notice her sweatshirt, I can tell.
Well, it could have been Christmas in July too.
It could have been, but that's what that was. It's literature is a big focus for us here at Northwest, so the kids are picking out a book for the evening.
So that's our holiday reading night, and Santa comes to visit, and families can do pictures with Santa, and they get to do Christmas caroling in the music room and just all kinds of fun activities that night, and everything for them is free that night. So we do several of those.
Cubs fan. You got a Cubs fan in the building.
Yeah, we'll have to work on that. That must be a second grade classroom there. They have Chromebooks, as you can see. So we're one-to-one, just like most schools are. iPads, young fives through first grade, Chromebooks in the second grade. And the students love it.
Yeah, you teach kids technology so they can go home and teach their parents how to use technology.
Exactly. And some of their principles.
Right. And this is outside on our playground, obviously again in the winter, but our students get to go out. We have some wonderful playground staff who help supervise out there, and our kids love every opportunity they get to be outside getting some fresh air.
It's got to be such a day brightener just to be surrounded by all that youth and positivity and smiles and
Energy.
innocence,
Yep.
energy, yeah.
It's funny, Mark and I say that, you know, there's a different kind of energy when all of the kids are in the building versus right now. You know, there's teacher energy in the building. They're anxious to get into their classrooms, but when the kids show up, it's just a whole different kind of tone to the day.
And the dogs are actually students in your building.
That is correct. We have 2 dogs. We have Miggs, who you see here, and then also Harley.
Very willing models.
Yeah, Miggs is all about getting his picture taken.
Lots of different outfits, I guess.
Yeah, well, it's him.
He's a part of every theme day we have.
And the kids love it.
Now with Kindergarten Roundup, not only is it an introduction to the school for the kids, but you're going to be seeing moms and dads that haven't had the experience yet, and it can be traumatic, sending kids off to school.
Yeah, I usually tell the parents it's harder for them than it is the students. And it is. There's lots of tears. It's an exciting time, but there's lots of tears because, you know, the kids they're growing up and it's their first big year, and it's awesome. And I feel fortunate, I'm sure Paula does as well, to be a part of that.
Yeah, the kids, they stop crying the minute they step foot in the building. The parents,
do.
a couple hours
Most
later.
of them do,
Yeah.
yeah.
Some linger.
You know, we have parents who come, and I know Mark has them when he greets parents out front, but also at the buses, who will come the first day of school. They'll put their kids on the bus really quick, and then they drive to school so that they're at the building when their kids get off the bus so they
Yeah.
can take pictures. And I'm usually out there with Kleenex because we always have some parents who that's a challenge, especially if
is.
it's their first child.
Yeah, it was teary-eyed for our family too. And
Yeah.
do you have kids that didn't have an opportunity to do preschool or early fives at kindergarten? It's their first thing that is a classroom?
For sure,
setting?
yeah, we get students like that, and we try our very best to meet them where they're at, whether you had preschool and young fives and your experience, but you know, everybody is a student at Northwest, and we do our very best to meet them where they come in the door.
Well, and you have to remember too, a lot of our students post-COVID, some of them have been in home daycares versus, larger
true.
institutionalized daycare kind of settings or preschools or something that's more formal. And so, that's always a challenge to kind of learn how to do school. And so we spend probably the first 2 to 3 weeks working with all of our kids just on school routines and the things that we do and what it looks like to be a successful student and how to navigate the building and the bathrooms and the drinking fountains and all of those things.
Yeah, the bathrooms, that can be very stressful for a kid. First time using a,
Sure,
yeah.
yeah.
What about families that can't make it on Wednesday, August 9th from 9:30 to 12:30? Are there other options?
Well, we certainly can make alternative options, but we would certainly like them to come on the Wednesday, because that's when we have our teachers are in the building to meet the kids. Our social workers or counselors are there, so we have all of our staff there, but we can make accommodations for sure.
Great.
Kindergarten Roundup's a great way for our staff to kind of get a pulse on where those kids are at, and that helps us place them in the most appropriate classrooms. Like Mark said, we can always make accommodations to that, but it's a great opportunity for us to kind of get to know the kids before we put them in a classroom setting.
One more thing before we can let you get back to the building.
Yeah.
We are
Northwest!
Go
Mounties!
There you go. Nice job. Thank you. Good luck. Happy back to school.
Yes,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Northwest Early Elementary Principal Mark Short and Assistant Principal Paula Louwagie. Up next, we